Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to another stream, Tree City Live. As always, I'm your host, Tree City Wes. Welcome to episode number 128. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a live stream. Done a couple loosey-goosey videos here and there, but kind of taking a break, kind of a mental reset. I got really sick for a couple weeks. I'm still kind of congested and messed up here, but yeah, we're back at it. What is up? What's up, Crypto Dude? What's up, Mind Body Crypto? What's up, Ange Delamer? Hope you guys are having a good Friday. Welcome to the live stream. Kind of an exciting week for crypto, man. We've got a nice pump the last 2 days. Let's go take a look at crypto bubbles as we always do when we get started here. And look at that. We're green on the year, the month, the week, the day, and the hour. Pretty much all across the board. If we zoom out to the monthly, got some interesting movers here. I haven't heard of this one. H2O DAO. It's up 134%. We got Zcash up 40%. Sats. I'm so happy to see Sats moving. I'm still holding my Sats pack. I held it all the way up and all the way down. What's up, Janet? Welcome, welcome. We got Radium up 50%. Things are doing the thing. That's good to see. Zoom into the weekly. We got Turbo up 64%. I tweeted yesterday or 2 days ago that I bought some Turbo. Nice little meme coin. You see Hex finally making a move, up 40%. Arrow up 60%. DYM up 60%. Things are just moving all across the board. It's really good to see. Zoom into the day here. What's moving today? We got Turbo and Radium and Pulse Chain. Nice to see some double-digit gains out of Pulse Chain and Hex. Yeah, ask Microsoft. Man, that kind of... I work in IT, so it was an interesting day today, dealing with all these outages and everything. All because of an antivirus update. Some wild, wild things. All right, so let's go take a look at Bitcoin, see what Bitcoin's doing on the TradingView chart. It's been a while since I've looked at this chart, honestly. My TA is probably old as hell. Let's zoom out to the week. Ew, what is this EMA ribbon? Get this thing out of here. Ah, I think my mouse is dying. There we go. So let's zoom out to the week. See what's happening on the weekly chart with the weekly candles. That's kind of funny. I said, oh yeah, look for it to reset. And look at those wicks. Those wicks come right down to where I... Yeah, let me remove these grid lines real quick. Yeah, we don't need no grid lines. There we go. Now we can see what's happening. Yeah, that's funny. I do this little pullback thing, and it came right down to these wicks here on the weekly. That's great. And then, so we had about 5 straight weeks of down with one big green candle this week. That's a good thing to see. Let's zoom into the daily. And look at that. How many days in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in a row of green candles on Bitcoin. That's exciting to see. Exciting to see for sure. It's interesting I drew this. I'm not sure what this is. Some kind of resistance it looks like it's trying to break out of right now. But we're creeping up, sitting at 66,700 for the bitty Bitcoin. And I actually want to look at ETH. Things are starting to get really interesting at ETH, and we're going to talk about Ethereum today. So this is the daily chart. ETH currently sitting at 3,500. And it had pulled back all the way under 3,000. So it got as low as, what is this, 2,790? So you got some wicks down to 2,700 here. It is still kind of sideways in this range here, just cruising sideways. But there was some big news today, you know, about this ETF. And I saw some interesting charts that kind of remind me of January and February and March. They're starting to talk about the exchange flows of Ethereum. How much Ethereum is being pulled off exchanges. And that's exactly what we were talking about with Bitcoin when the ETFs started happening. How much Bitcoin was flowing off of the exchanges into the ETFs. And now that that talk's starting to happen with Ethereum, it's getting me really, really bullish on it. Let's just dive right into it. Why not? So, yeah, shout out to Marty Party. ETH ETF. Chicago Board of Exchange announces trading will start July 23rd officially. So what is that? Is that Tuesday? When's the 23rd? Let's see here. Yeah, the 23rd is next Tuesday. So Ethereum will begin trading next Tuesday. By the way, let's just throw that out there. You'll be able to buy Ethereum on the stock market, and exchange traded product, ETP, will be listed on the CBOE, begin trading as a new issue on July 23rd. It's the Franklin Ethereum ETF. The symbol is EZET, Easy Ethereum. So that's crazy. They just kind of snuck that in there today. I feel like no one's really talking about that. But so I'm starting to look around. I'm like, okay, now this guy's talking about the huge Ethereum outflows. $126 million of ETH was withdrawn from exchanges this week, signaling a massive accumulation ahead of the new ETF launch. The next big Ethereum rally's coming. So this is kind of a precursor. There's not many signals in Ethereum, in crypto, or trading in general that can see into the future. But when you see a token disappearing and outflowing from an exchange, that means it's getting more scarce. It means it's going to be, you know, the demand. If the demand is there and the supply is diminishing, that means the price is going to go up. So when we see the balance of Ethereum on exchanges drastically dropping like this, you know, see this blue line is the exchange balance total of all exchanges. It is just slowly dripping down. We're down to like 12 and a half, a little over 12 million Ethereum on exchanges. And as this Ethereum is being pulled off of exchanges, the price is starting to move up. That's this black line. So we're approaching $4,000 Ethereum, as we're also approaching only 12 million Ethereum left on exchanges. And that's how supply shock happens. This is the type of thing that can lead to an Ethereum supply shock. And this is how we get to that $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 Ethereum. And what's interesting about Ethereum compared to the Bitcoin ETF is Bitcoin DeFi, quote unquote DeFi, is a little different than Ethereum DeFi. Bitcoin doesn't really have pools and pairs like Ethereum and EVM chains do. So when you have something like Zen, let's go ahead and pull it up. We'll go over to Deck Screener, see how the Zen chart's doing. When you have something like Zen, it's actually paired with Ethereum. So when we're looking at the price of Zen, we're actually looking at the pair of Zen and Ethereum combined together in the pool. So that's why they have this USD and this ETH. So when we look at the USD, we're looking at the price of the Ethereum paired with Zen. So when the price of Ethereum goes up, so does the Zen ETH pair. Now, if you switch it over to ETH, you switch it over to look at it from an ETH perspective, you can see that ETH, the price is there's not ETH being added to the pool right now, and that's why it looks like this. But when you look at the price in USD, it's pumping because Ethereum's pumping and there's little liquidity, and that Zen that's paired with ETH is actually pumping the price up. So if we had a $10,000 ETH, that's almost like leveraged play on Zen. And as ETH continues to go up, the price of Zen USD is going to go up. So let me just blow my nose real quick here. I'm getting all stuffed up. All right, so that's some really bullish news for Ethereum. It's getting really exciting. So the CBOE is the Chicago Board Options Exchange. They're basically the biggest exchange, and yeah, it's confirmed. So Decrypt also confirmed it. Many major investment firms have gotten the green light from the SEC to list spot ETFs in the US. So here's a running list. So we got BlackRock, we got Grayscale, the big players. We got the ARK Invest 21 shares. We got the Pro shares, the Fidelity, VanEck, Hashdex, Franklin Templeton. So this is kind of the interesting one. This is the one that we were just talking about that was approved for trading on Tuesday. They were highly against crypto at first, and I think they kind of flipped along the way. And then they launched their Bitcoin ETF, the EasyBC, and now they're going all in with the ETH ETF. Got the Invesco, got the Bitwise. So we got a bunch of Ethereum ETFs that are all going to be competing to fill their bags with ETH, and that's really going to trigger anything that's paired with ETH. I think all of these ETH, I call them derivatives. They're not true derivatives, but I call them derivatives. They're going to absolutely fly. Things like Chainlink and Optimism and Arbitrum and even memes like Pepe, Ribbit. Shout out Jonathan, what's up? So that's pretty exciting. That's some big news for Ethereum coming. We'll see how that goes next week. And here is the official press release. Breaking news: SEC green lights Ethereum ETFs. This was earlier today. Just given thumbs up to 2 Ethereum ETFs: Grayscale's Mini Trust and ProShares Ethereum ETF. So in addition to Franklin Templeton's, we also have Grayscale's Ethereum Mini Trust and ProShares Ethereum ETF. So not only do we have one ETF coming next Tuesday, we have multiple that are going to be trading on the stock exchange. Now, these ETFs will be listed on the New York Stock Exchange ARCA platform. Trading set to kick off July 23rd. Fees range from 0.1, and that's really all they care about. They just want to collect their fees from the trading. But since it's a spot ETF, they actually have to buy and hold the Ethereum, and that's going to make things go crazy. It's just a matter of time, in my opinion, before we see new all-time highs with Ethereum. So yeah, that's some exciting stuff. It's the big news for me today, and I don't really see too many talking about it, which is kind of surprising. What's up, Crypto Arborist? Welcome. So I thought this was kind of interesting, hand in hand with the Ethereum ETFs. But shout out to Ben Cowan. If you guys want to get into the nerdy analytical side of crypto, chart reading and the different indicators and different ways to think about crypto, definitely go follow Ben Cowan. He'll talk about Bitcoin dominance and all these different alternative charts and things. But in this thread, he's talking about the supply of Ethereum increasing by 60K per month. 60,000 Ethereum per month is being created since April. Could this be the narrative that people focus on later this year when they should actually focus on the monetary policy? Kind of funny. But over the last 30 days, the supply of Ethereum's up by almost 60,000 ETH. Back in April 24, the supply had dropped by 455,000 or so since the merge. And we all know, everybody in this chat knows exactly why that is. I'm sure you guys have seen this chart. This was the merge. This was the day that Zen launched. And then Ethereum went deflationary once the Zen Mint started. And then somewhere along the way, they launched that upgrade for Ethereum, which kind of fixed some of the gas issues and the roll-ups with the layer 2s. And since then, Gwei has been so low and the fees have been so low that the fees aren't burning the Ethereum like it once was. So ever since they upgraded Ethereum has turned inflationary again, which is kind of scary. It was kind of bullish thinking that Ethereum was disappearing from the market for so long. And now, since they've quote unquote fixed the fees and the gas problem, I still think it's a problem, but since they quote unquote fixed the gas problem, now more Ethereum is being created than ever. So, if the supply of Ethereum continues increasing at 60,000 ETH per month, then we'll see a supply revert to what it was back before the merge. Currently, since the merge supply is at negative 300,000, that'll take 5 months to revert at this pace. So think about that. If Zen launched, ETH turned deflationary for a couple months, erased hundreds and hundreds of thousands of ETH. And now that they quote unquote fixed the gas fees, they're going to give all that ETH back and it's going to be recreated and go into the hands of the validator owners. So if you disregard monetary policy because you don't think it will play a role, you should consider 2016. If it follows 2016, ETH BTC final capitulation will not start until September 2024. Should be enough time for the novelty of the spot ETF to wear off. So he's saying that there might be a bigger crash later in the year, in the fall, and then things will come back. And he's also tying it into the monetary policy cycle, which nobody really does. That's why I like Ben. Shout out to Ben Cowan. But what's interesting is that the Fed's likely going to cut rates in September, the same month that the ETH BTC began its descent in 2016. So the Fed's cutting rates the same time last time this happened. When this happened, Ethereum crashed and then it ran up. So he's kind of saying, watch out for a big crash once they cut the rates in September, and then it's going to start the bull run essentially. I'm not sure I believe it, but it's an interesting thought to think about. It's hard to say what happens with ETH BTC over the next few weeks. Normally, Bitcoin dominance stalls out Q3 of halving years before a major rally in Q4. But this halving year, you can see that dominance has been stronger than prior halving years. So this year's a little different than the previous cycles. But I just think it's so interesting about the Ethereum supply. That is crazy that... And this website is Ultrasound Money. Let's go check that out real quick. And yeah, look at that 7-day time frame. The supply of Ethereum is basically going straight up. If we zoom out and say a year and 3 since the merge, essentially. So here was the launch of Zen in November 2022, and then boom, gas fees got really high. It was the meme season. All the Zen was being created and claimed, and their fees were so high that Ethereum was essentially burning. And then somewhere along the line in April of this year, they made that change, and now ETH is inflationary again because the gas fees are so low. So you can see it on this chart. It's plain as day. And if we zoom into the 30-day, So there's been 12,000 ETH in the last week created, and there's 60,000 ETH in the last 30 days. So it's quite a lot. You have to think about it both ways. On one hand, we have this new ETF and all these outflows from the exchanges, which might bring the supply shock. But on the other hand, the tokenomics of ETH are kind of fucked up because the gas is so slow that it's creating a ton of ETH supply, 60,000 ETH every 30 days. So it could erase all that deflationary pressure that it had. Yeah, that's insane. And it's kind of interesting because it's just going back to the whales who run the validators anyway. So the people that have all the ETH are getting all this extra ETH. In the last day, there's been 1,800 ETH alone. They burned 600 while creating 2,500 ETH. So supply is going to continue to grow, which is not bullish for ETH. It's kind of a catch-22 if you think about it. So yeah, that's what's happening. So what do you guys want to talk about tonight? That was really all I had. We could talk about Zen. We could talk about XenBlocks. What's up, Jack Levin? Welcome. Yeah, so let's talk about some. We got a bunch of meme coins popping off. I was pretty excited a couple days ago. There is a general sentiment in the market that things were starting to turn bullish again. The Ethereum ETF started heating up, all the rumors. That got approved today, so I threw out this tweet. These are some memes that I've been into, kind of, some of them are smaller, Ribbit and Bashi on base and Chomp. And then I got some bigger ones like Wen and Miro. And then the biggest, I try not to buy memes that are over like a $300 million market cap, but we got Ponk and Turbo. The ones that are too big, like Dog with Hat and Pepe, there's really not much upside to them, so I kind of stay away from them. And then shout out to Jack here. He said Wojak, Bobo, and Mog. Those are awesome memes too. Those are big. I think Wojak has like a 30 million market cap. I was taking a look at. Bobo and Mog are awesome memes as well. But I was pretty happy with this tweet because some of these pumped pretty hard. Let's go take a look at the meme lists. This was the worst one. So Chomp kind of got me. I like Chomp for some reason. I ended up buying it at 40 cents. It dropped all the way down to 27 cents after I bought it. But I am still bullish on it. I'm just going to hold it, doing this thing. Same with Bashi, another very small meme on base, $700,000 market cap. But that one was down for me. But the Solana ones did really well. Ponk. So it's this little monkey. I guess it's a Ponky. I got in around 62 cents, currently sitting at 66 cents. And only at a $300 million market cap. A nice little 3x would be a $1 billion market cap. I kind of see that being the ceiling for this one. So grabbed a little bit of Ponky. And these are just kind of lottery tickets. I'm not putting a ton of money. I'm talking like $100, hoping to get like, $100 into $500. These little meme flips on these small market cap coins. And shout out to Zencat. Zencat woke up today. We zoom in here. Whew, look at that. Making some big moves. Looks like it bottomed out around 404. Pumped about 100% over the last couple days. Shout out to the Zencat people. Potato Vampire just doing its thing. Very low volume, kind of moving sideways. Not SEC with a little pump here. That one bottomed out at 405. But Miro was another one of the Solana memes I grabbed. Grabbed this one around 14 cents. Currently sitting at 15 cents. Nice little run up. This one's a 150 million market cap. And again, I could see this one doing like another little 3 or 4x, maybe get up to a 500 million. I don't really see these ever going over. I'll be lucky if they get to $1 billion. That's a pretty big market cap. No Wens. Yeah, we got a little bit of Wen. No Wens. Wen, I'm down on Wen. What's up, Sixer? Welcome. So yeah, why don't we talk about some Zen stuff? Let's see here. Take a look at my notes. So, shout out to Jack in the chat. He recently released the GitHub for the XenBlocks mining verification, the hash verification. So XenBlocks is expanding the CPU hash verifier swarms with verification settlement on X1. So this is pretty cool. One of the cool things you can do with ChatGPT is, I've been doing this way too much, is you can actually pop pictures in there and ask it questions. So like what I did is I just grabbed this picture here, open up ChatGPT. So you just pop this picture in here and say, tell me what this diagram is doing. So this diagram outlines the process of CPU-based XN mining with the XenBlocks light node. So it actually reads the diagram and you can ask it questions, which I think is really cool. So it talks about the XenBlocks miner, you know, the XNM miners, connects to your Solana address. The miner produces hashes. So it's basically a hash. Some of this is wrong, actually, so it's hallucinating some of this, which is kind of funny. The produced hash is submitted to the X1 ledger. At this point, the hash is in an unverified state, directly hands it in the ledger without passing it through the mempool. I don't know what it's talking about here, the database. I guess it means the ledger. So the distributed controller smart contract on X1 validators. See, this isn't... This is a bad example. Sorry, guys. Break it down. So this is for hash verifications of XNM mining on XenBlocks. Break it down in a short paragraph. But basically, the verifiers are responsible for the off-chain consensus of whether or not the hashes, your XenBlocks hashes, are correct. And so this diagram illustrates the decentralized hash verification process for XNM mining. Miners produce the hashes and submit them to the ledger. Then these CPU verifiers can operate on anything that has a CPU, essentially. You know, your cell phone or your laptops. There's even someone that built an Android app. You know, that's really awesome. You can run it on an Android cell phone. So basically, they receive workloads of these hashes to verify. The verification results are submitted as votes to a distributed controller, which is a smart contract on X1. The smart contract collects the votes, and if the majority agrees, the hash is verified. And this process ensures a decentralized, consensus-driven approach to validating hashes within the XenBlocks light node system. So it's basically verifying our hashes in a more decentralized manner, which is really awesome. And by running these CPU verifiers, you can actually earn XN. So let me see if I can find the link here. Looking for the Moo. So there's actually a website now where you can see the hashes that are being submitted and voted on by the... So let's pull up Jack's Twitter here and see if I can find that. Hey, I hear something happening. What's up? Hey, shout out to the Crypto Arborist. Thank you, sir. So let's see if I can find this. Shout out to Jack, always working, even when he's in the camper. Yeah, here's the example of the light node. So you can actually run the Python script directly on a cell phone and verify the XenBlocks hashes and try to earn some XN rewards, which is really cool. Here maybe? So here's the GitHub. I'll throw this in the chat so you guys can see the code. I'm looking for this site. I cannot remember what the site is. I know it's on the Moo site. Here we go. The show data. All right, that's what it is, show data. So these are actual hashes. You know, here's the hash, and then these are the verifiers. So these are actual, these Solana addresses are the actual CPU verifiers that we're about to run. I'll demonstrate it for you. So as these wallet addresses vote on the hashes, if the hash is correct, they actually get the XN rewards, and they verify the hashes successfully. So that's really cool to see. Let's see. So I'll just do this in that WSL real quick. We'll set it up from scratch. All right, so just loaded up a little WSL window. You know, WSL is Linux subsystem for Windows. It's basically a little virtual machine that runs on Windows. So I'm going to go over to the GitHub and I'm going to grab the Git. I'm going to go over to Linux here. We're going to type git clone and I'm going to paste that GitHub link in there, cloning into the voter. So when it says cloning into voter, it's basically downloading that folder. So now if I type in dir, I should have a voter folder here. And type cd voter. Open the folder, and now I can see the files. So we got a cargo file, we got a readme, and we got the source directory. So if I come over here, you do have to install Rust. I previously installed Rust and Solana and everything, so that's good. Should be all good here. Check if cargo is installed. We do have cargo installed. So once you run the commands to install Rust and install cargo, you're going to run this cargo build release. And this is going to take that cargo configuration file, that TOML file, in that source folder, and actually create the file. So let's let it rip. We'll go and paste this in here, cargo build -- release. And it's gonna go ahead and take those files and download and build it, essentially. So let this run for a minute. Probably gonna be slow. I got a million things going on. I'm streaming, we're building, we're got the ticker. I see my ticker kind of stuttering on the bottom of the screen. That's kind of funny. So yeah, while this builds, basically what's gonna happen next is we're gonna run the light node. And when you initialize it, it actually creates a Solana wallet, and that's where that address comes from, and that's where the XN rewards will be received. So on the mainnet, you know, when this happens, you're going to want to make sure you keep that id.json file safe. It's basically a file with your private key in it, and it's essentially a wallet, a Solana wallet file. So the node will create the id.json file with your private key, so you're identified among other nodes. This is where you'll receive your future rewards. As your light node runs, it'll submit computed data to XenBlocks consensus ledger, which will be accessed here. Yeah, and that's the voting ledger. So hopefully once this finishes, we'll be able to start the verifier, and then hopefully we'll see the address that it creates on the list here. That'd be pretty cool. Shout out to the 13 watchers hanging out with me while I'm sick. It's actually just allergies at this point. Is Zone burnable for XN? That's a good question. We'll have to see. I always imagined it was going to be for Zone, it would be the people that participated on the mint day, but what do I know? So it's compiling all these different files. You see it's on 375 of 560. Once this gets to 560, we'll be able to run and test it. This really gets me so excited because it's just, XenBlocks is still a thing. Actually, I'm gonna go check on my miners while this is running. So if you guys do head over to my GitHub, I have the XenBlocks assistant on there, and it's a nice little utility. Let me log into my Pi here. So I got my orange Pi. Got the V3, the new one we're testing. Whoops. So this is the XenBlocks assistant. This just makes it really easy to buy vast cloud instances. So you can view your miners. I haven't checked mine in a few days. Let's see how this is working. I'm sure some of them are dead. Okay, yeah, most of them are running still. That's cool. I've gotten 18 XNM, 0 super blocks, and 46 Zunis. These have been running for 147 hours. They do reset, but this is actually so easy. I'll show you how this works real quick. What I'll do is I'm going to kill all these miners. So I'll type in the number 2. It's going to query. It says these are your 10 miners. You can type K to kill the dead instances, I to select instances, or A to do all. So I'm just going to do A. It's going to ask me to confirm. And it's going to terminate every miner that I have running right now. All right, so now if I go back to view active miners, I don't have any instances, which is exactly what I expect. So now I'm going to type 3 to buy some miners. And in the next version, it's actually going to ask you what your limit would be. So I'm going to put 0.03. I don't want any miners that are over 3 cents. So then I can see the lowest price per hour. I can see the highest total T-flops. I can see individual types of miners, like if I want an A5000 or a 3070. So I'll just type in the lowest price. And boom, here's 20 miners that are under 3 cents per hour. So I'm basically just gonna, it says enter the number that you'd like to purchase. So I'm gonna type 1-20 for 1 through 20. And it's just gonna purchase those miners, load the XenBlocks image, and then start mining with them. So while those load up, let's go back and check on our verifier. That's still building, 551, almost done here. So we're purchasing some cloud miners while we're building our verification here. So now I'm gonna type 0 to go to the previous menu. Now I can view the active miners. It's probably gonna say they're all dead because they haven't spun up yet. It does take a couple minutes for them to spin up and start. So we got one started here already. It looks like a 4090 for 1 penny. It's giving me 300 hashes per dollar. So I'm getting one 4090 that's doing 5,000 hashes. It's pretty awesome. It includes the link so you can go straight to the miner interface. And this is really the easiest way. If you're familiar with how to run a Python script, you can just quickly boot up a miner this way. Here, I'll throw my my vast GPU rental. I'll be happy to get you set up with XenBlocks mining. Just shoot me a message. You know, we can get the miner going. But all right, back to the XenBlocks verification. So now that the voter finished, it finished compiling. Go back to the GitHub here. So we just finished running this cargo build release that built the project files, and now we're gonna run the light node. It's gonna initialize the voter. So I'm basically just gonna take this over here, pop it in there, and there we go. So it's verifying. If I go to the very top, you can see it puts my public key here. So this is a Solana style address, and that is created in my JSON file that I can restore later. So each one of these is a different hash ID, has a key, and it verifies it. confirms that it has Zen 11 in it, and it works. So the final output, first last block, final hash, public key, data successfully sent to the server. Then it starts another round, and it just continues to verify hashes over and over. Data sent successfully. Every time you verify a hash and your vote's accepted, you have a good chance of getting some kind of XN reward. So now if we go over to the ledger, I should be able to search this. Now I'm not sure how fast this happens, but if I hit find and paste that address in there I am. How crazy is that? That is so fast. So we literally ran like 2 rounds of verification, and that wallet address that I just created by running the script is already in there. So you can see it's found 2 instances of this wallet address, which means I've verified 2 blocks. That's awesome. That is really fast. I didn't expect that. Shout out to Jack. So waiting for hashes to be mined for 10 seconds before next check. That's cool. So if I refresh this, I might have a couple more. That's still 2. But yeah, so that's the verification in action. So since I was running the verifier, all these addresses have a chance to get the XN rewards for verifying that block and making sure it's a hash that has Zen 11 in it. And I'm using Redis as not cache for consensus. It's fast. It is fast. That is so cool. This makes me so bullish on XenBlocks. Like things are still being built for it. We're getting more and more decentralized. And it's getting more and more real. That is so cool. Shout out to Jack and Zensu and the Zen team. This is fun. The cool thing about the XenBlocks verifier is I can run this on my Raspberry Pi or my cell phone. You know, I don't need to rent a whole cloud server. I can take like a very old laptop or, you know, some shitty old cell phone and actually just run it, and it works. And really the ones, if you want to get the most rewards, you do want to have a fast server and verify the fastest. So like it says time taken for verification 5 seconds. That's probably slow. You know, I bet there's faster servers that are doing it faster, you know, faster internet speeds. The ones who do it the faster will get more rewards, I believe. Or they'll be able to verify more. But yeah, fun stuff. Take a look at my notes here. Got some other fun tools I've been working on. Been working on some Moonshot stuff. So I got a couple scripts here. Let's do the I think it's v2.py. Is this? Okay, so what this does, this is we're gonna wrap up with this for today. But I've been building some little scripts with the Moonshot API. I'll show the Solana Explorer. Oh, for sure. Let's go there, since we're on it. So not only do we have the new hash verification for XenBlocks, but we also have the Solana Explorer. I built my little Explorer, and it really couldn't do anything. You couldn't like search. You could basically just see your balance. But they basically forked the Solana Explorer and added this cool little transaction per second. Pushing 100 transactions per second. So we're not really spanking the network too hard, but that's exciting to see. But yeah, so if you're a Solana validator, you can come in here. I'm curious now. Let me see. Can I? Will this show in here? I'm not sure if these are connected. Yeah, it's not connected. Or I don't have any Solana in it. Oh, you just started the load test? Let's see. Oh, boom. Look at that. Am I in the way? Yeah, I'm in the way here. We're pumping, guys. It's getting spanked. It says 1,400 47 TPS as of 1 minute ago. Look at that transaction count. That's just going nuts. Sitting at 7 billion transactions. That's really cool. Now if I refresh, is it gonna... 1447. That's awesome. 1 minute average, gotcha. That's really sick. So all the Zenians saying X1 doesn't exist. There is no testnet. Yeah, we got the Explorer here. You can come here. You can see your testnet wallet address. You can see the load test happening. You see the we're doing the XenBlocks verification, getting ready for XenBlocks on X1. There's a lot of stuff happening. It's exciting. I need a 1 minute on the TPS history. That's funny though. That really did shoot up. There we go. 10,000 1 minute ago. 10,000 transactions a second. So what's the highest? What's the highest you've seen? We pushing 100K yet? 7,000. That's awesome. 50,000 on a 50 node cluster. That's awesome. 50,000 TPS. And the super fast node in the lab, you could push 100K. That's really cool. Got the supply, got the so you can actually see the transaction messages, decode them. It's the X1 AlphaNet. Cool stuff, cool stuff. So yeah, we're building for X1. Things are happening. Got the whole pivot from the Phantom thing. You know, it was unfortunate what they did with the changing the licensing, but I am actually excited for it. This is a lot different, especially with like everybody's really turning their heads towards Solana now, and if we can build it better, I mean that's really awesome. Click on a slot. Okay. Filtered block transactions. Here, let me see. Let's go back a couple. I just typed in a random number. It's the vote program. That's cool. So this is the XenBlocks vote program. Or is this the load test? Oh yeah, confirmation. Man, this is so cool. Those are votes from validators. Gotcha. Yeah, so that's how the validators create the slots. They vote on them. That's so cool. It's looking good, Jack. It's getting real. Transactions, let's see. That was a boring transaction. That's cool. So these are all the load balancing transactions. I mean the testing transactions, not the load balancing. So this moves Sol from one account to another. Yeah, it's the nature of the test. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I'm curious how that works. Like, do you just have like a bunch of wallets do it at once, or I imagine it's scripted like that. That's really interesting. $15,000 TPS sampler. That's crazy. Very cool. So we got the slot leader here, 80 Solana. Cool stuff. $50K TPS. Sheesh. We need smaller time frames here so we can see the 30 minutes as 10K, but I imagine. Oh, I see. Never mind. I'm stupid. I see. These are all 1 minute. That's cool. Doesn't know if it has the juice to show it. Yeah, it seems to be maxing out at 10K. 10,500. That's really cool though. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so this slot has 1,300 transactions. In a single slot, in a single block. That's crazy. Good stuff. Cool. All right, so we'll come back to the Moonshot stuff. I'm gonna save the special video for this. Basically, I've been working on these little it's like a filter thing for Moonshot. It uses the Moonshot API to get new tokens, and it also has some things like you can tell it only if it has a website, Telegram, and Twitter listed. Then it gives you the links, and you can visit the website and the deck screener and stuff. It's fun, but I feel bad because almost everything's a rug pull, kind of like the pump fun stuff. So it's like, it's pretty hard finding a diamond in the rough. That's why you got to stick to what you know. Stick with the Zen Cats, stick with the Potato Vampire, stick with the hash head token and the bait token and the NotSec token. But yeah, we're going to wrap it up. It's been a fun little live stream. I'm going to try to do these more. I'm going to try to do a couple per week. Kind of took a little break, but I can feel the market heating up. So we're going to get back into a nice rhythm, couple shows a week. But I'll probably hop over on Twitter. Hopefully Rome or somebody's got a space going over there. Shout out to Jack. Shout out to all the Zenians. Hope you guys have a good Friday night. Thanks for coming out and watching. And as always, I hope you guys stay Zen. Peace.